name is Keisha Wallace, and I'm with ACEWAL Scholars. Today we will be learning solving for a variable given a formula. So, let's begin. Here's our one lesson goal for today. We will be solving for a variable given a formula. So this should be fun. Let's get started. All right, first off, what is a formula? A formula is a mathematical rule used to express the relationship between symbols, constants, and or variables, along with their relative proportions to each other. Symbols could be anything. We could be using our multiplication symbol. We could be using our division symbol. Constants are fixed numbers, such as 1, 2, 3, 4, a half, 4/3. Those are fixed values, and our variables. And variables are letters that we use in place of an unknown amount. So that could be an N or an X or an S. All right, so why or how is this important? Well, there are times that we'll have a formula and we need to solve for a particular variable that's in the formula, and it's not necessarily set up, or the equation is not necessarily set up to know exactly what that variable is equal to. So we're going to have to pretty much move things around so that we can see specifically what the variable is equal to. So how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to use our additive property of equality and multiplicative property of equality and distributive property. All these properties that we've learned before, we're going to use them when it comes to isolating specific variables within a formula so we can find out what those variables are equal to. Well, let's look at an example where we're using the perimeter formula. So you see we have a shape, we have a rectangle, and our rectangle consists of a length and a width. And the perimeter formula is P equals 2L plus 2W. And today we're going to solve for L. So why is this important? Well, let's say we're given the perimeter of something, and specifically a rectangle. And we don't know the length, but we know the perimeter. And we need to, let's say this was a field of grass and we needed to purchase some fencing or something like that. And we had the complete perimeter of the lawn, but we don't know what the length is. Well, we could use our perimeter formula to find out the specific length. Now, if we look at our formula as it is, we don't know exactly what L is equal to, but if we had the perimeter and the width, we could find out what L was equal to. And in this case, what we want to do is isolate L so we know exactly what L is equivalent to. All right, so let's begin. So we have P equals 2L plus 2W. The first thing I'm going to do is bring my 2W to the other side. So I'm going to minus 2W on both sides. Once I do that, I will cross out my 2W on my right side. That cancels out, and we're left with P minus 2W equals 2L. Now, is L by itself yet? No, it's not. We still have that 2 multiplied by it. So we're going to divide by 2 on both sides. Our 2's will cancel out, and we're left with L equals P minus 2W divided by 2. Or we could say P minus 2W divided by 2 is equal to L. All right, let's go to our example 2. Let's say we had a pyramid and we needed to find the height of the pyramid. Now, the formula for the volume of a pyramid is expressed as V equals to L times W times H divided by 3. You could also look at it as V equals 1/3 times LWH. But in this case, we've written as V equals the length times the width times the height divided by 3. But let's say we have the volume and we have the length and the width, but we need to know what the height is. Well, we can move this formula around so that we can solve for H and find out what H is equal to. So, how do we do that? Well, let's look at our formula. V equals L times W times H divided by 3. The first thing I'm going to do is multiply by 3 on both sides. All right, those 3's will cancel out, and I'm left with 3V equals L times W times H. Now, from here, we still need to isolate H. You'll notice that L and W and H are all being multiplied by each other. So what's the opposite of multiplication? Yes, you are correct. Division. So we're going to divide out by LW on both sides. The LW's cancel out, and we're left with 3 times V divided by LW equals 2H. Now let's look at another example, some miscellaneous formula that I've just made up. So it's not an actual formula, but we could use this to get more practice on solving for a specific variable. So we have D equals W times H plus 2 times S, and we need to solve for S. All right, so that means everything that's not S needs to move to the other side of the equation. So how is this going to work? All right, let's look at our equation. The first thing we're going to do is take that WH to the other side. So we're going to minus WH on both sides. The WH's cancel out, and we have D minus WH equals 2S. Now what do we do from here? You're correct. We're going to divide by 2 on both sides. The 2's will cancel out, and we're left with S equals D minus WH divided by 2, or you could say D minus WH divided by 2 is equal to S. My name is Keisha Wallace. I'm with ACewell Scholars. Thank you so much for giving me the privilege to teach you this lesson. For additional information on our services, please visit us at www.acewellscholars.org. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's been a pleasure teaching you this lesson. Have a great day and have fun learning.